Yo, what up, what up, what up? Sorry. I was trying to figure out some shit on here, and I always, unfortunately, I always mess things up when I try to do everything on OBS. But, yo, what's up? What's up? It's been a crazy day today. Well, got some snow coming in tomorrow, so, yeah. A lot going on. Appreciate it. Yeah, we were supposed to do the, what's it called? I stream on Mondays and Fridays, by the way. If anybody doesn't know, I do stream on Mondays and Fridays. Shake down the weekend on Saturday. But how about them 49ers, man? How about those Niners? You know? I think the only thing that really pissed me off about that game, I think, was Travis Kelce almost pushing Andy Reid, which I thought that was ridiculous when he only had like one reception. You know, but we have a big offseason coming now. Now it's the offseason for everybody. There's been a lot of rumors. There's a lot of stuff. We're gonna have like probably 2 videos out tomorrow. I already have a video set out for tomorrow morning. But there's been other rumors regarding HaasonReddick, in that it looks like the Atlanta Falcons could be because we all know Reddick is going out for a trade right now, looking for to see what his number is, to see what's going on. So, it looks like HaasonReddick has some interest from the Atlanta Falcons, and that's a really interesting team because they do not have any pure edge rushers. They have 3 day 2 picks. 3. Okay, I don't think you're getting a first-round pick for HaasonReddick. I think a day 2 pick would probably make more sense. I have to look at specifics on the picks, but I'll have a video on that as it starts to come out. I don't even know how much cap space they have, but obviously, you know, they should have a lot because they don't really have any. They're not really paying too many guys on that team, and they're not really even paying a quarterback at this moment. So, them being potential trade, you know, maybe the first name I think about is AJ Terrell. Maybe, you know, in a trade or something like that. I don't even know how many more years AJ Terrell has, but I'm starting to wonder a little bit. I don't think you're going to go get Jesse Bates or anything like that unless, you know, maybe that's what they give up. You know, but I don't think they're going to fleece anybody for anything bigger than a day 2 pick. And that's actually the perfect team to do it with. The more day 2 picks you have, I mean, if you get a 2nd round pick for him, I mean, I think that's a steal for us. That would give the Eagles 3 first round picks. I mean, sorry, 3 2nd round picks, which would be pretty nice. But appreciate everybody coming to the stream right now. On a late night, we're gonna go for about an hour tonight. I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so it's been kind of crazy. What's going on, Ryan Roman, John House, Cat, Daniel Barry, Deep Space? What's going on, man? Bleeding Kelly Green, what's going on, man? Niner down. Yeah. It was just so great. It was just great to see, like, just the dysfunction that Kyle Shanahan is still a choke artist. It was nice to see Deebo Samuel cry with tears running down his face. You know, we'll see, though. Joey said they got to hit free agency hard on defense. I don't want to see Reddick go, but if we have to be for a proven player, I wouldn't mind seeing Swift with Barkley or Henry. Man, a lot of, you know, I think Saquon's gonna go to the Chargers, but I mean, I think if the number is right, I wouldn't mind Barkley in an Eagles uniform. I've always wanted to see what Barkley would do behind this offensive line if used correctly, but to have both of them would be pretty damn sweet. So we'll see, but yeah, I mean, they have to go after some defensive guys. They need to go after an edge rusher. I don't know what their main targets are as when it comes to as to the defense. I think linebacker, I think they have to do some multiple signings to linebacker. I think they need to pay a linebacker. I think they have to get a prove it kind of guy linebacker like Devin White or something like that. And they need to go get at least one of their 2nd round picks, need to draft another linebacker. I think they have to do all 3, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Eagles Playbook Podcast. What's going on, man? I was in your stream a couple days ago. I was there early, but it was a good stream, by the way. I had it running while I was doing some work at home. So appreciate all you guys do, man. Appreciate it so much. What's going on, Aiden? Drew says, what up, Joey? Heading home. Paying HUD. I'll be listening. Thanks. Appreciate it, Drew, so much, man. Thank you for coming in as usual. What's going on, Matt? Ryan Roman, what's going on? Yeah, it's here. It's the off season for the Eagles now. It's here now. We're ready to go. A lot of rumors with Jalen Hurts being more vocal. A lot of reports were coming out. And now we get to see what Howie's got up his sleeve. And the Chiefs showed me a lot. The Kansas City Chiefs really showed me a lot of things. I think what they've really showed me is they have a team right now. There's no profile, big time player offensively besides your elite quarterback and Patrick Mahomes. It's amazing how they use so many players and be so creative. It doesn't really matter if they change coordinators. Andy Reid makes sure that the continuance of what they do offensively stays in the building. I think that's what has been the big problem here, because I don't think Nick has much say in what's going on, and I don't even know why Nick Sirianni is even here at this point if he's got no control over the coordinators. And just to be a motivational speaker for the year, I don't know. Makes no sense to me why he's still here, but it is what it is. Chris, we have Chris Kaufman is Camper Tier. Thank you so much. Member for 5 months. What's going on, man? This is to Kyle Shanahan for blowing his third 10-point Super Bowl lead. That's crazy, though. I read that the other day. I know he's blown some games, but it's bad, man. It's bad. Eben says Barkley and Swift. That'd be great. Tommy Fox said Reddick deserves to be paid for his play. If they do wind up trading him, I'm really hoping that doesn't change the dinner from drafting a cornerback and linebacker first 2 picks. I mean, I don't know if that's going to change anything. I still think they'll get in. I mean, look, from what they have done MO wise in the draft, they like getting the trench guys early, very early, and it could change. They could get another edge rusher, and the problem is you have nothing to replace Reddick right now. That's the only issue you have. Now, look, I don't want to trade Reddick, but the thing is, I understand why, if they do trade him, why they have to do it. Reddick, unfortunately, is our best man on defense right now. Okay, and Reddick is going to be turning 30 years old in December. I know that Reddick has a few more years left. Okay, I get it. I know he could play for a longer, substantial amount of time. The problem is they got to get younger. The problem is Nolan Smith hasn't produced because of Sean Desai. That's Sean Desai's problem. Sean Desai's fault for not playing him, unfortunately. And I think this defensive line hit a wall, period. Okay. So we'll see what happens with it. But, if Nolan Smith had 6 to 10 sacks this year, then I would say, sure, this trade would feel more comfortable. If you trade him and get rid of him, you better hope that look, if Howie ends up having 4 second-round picks in this draft, he's not picking 4 guys in the second round. I think 2 of those picks are going to go towards trades. I honestly do. Rich says Joey busy. He got to get to the docks to unload crates. No, I had this on. I was out earlier with my girls earlier, but it's gonna snow tomorrow, so it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. Elaine, what's going on? It says, hey Joey, how about that Super Bowl? I know. It was so it was really hard to even watch or root. But to be honest with you, man, I honestly really just loved how the 49ers just coughed that. The 49ers window is closing. I think it's going to start to close. I think it is closing because they're not paying a starting quarterback right now. That's the only reason why they're making the moves that they're making every offseason. So Brock Purdy's got 2 more years left, okay? So it's closing. They have another couple years to win another championship, but once they Brock Purdy's going to get... I can't even imagine the money he's going to get. As much as I don't think he's anything special, it kind of pissed me off during the Super Bowl where every time Brock Purdy would throw a pass, oh my God. Jalen Hurts, look at what he did in the Super Bowl in 22, and I think nobody was shaking a stick at any throw he was making. But when Brock Purdy makes these throws, everyone's like, oh, look at Brock Purdy, look what he did. It's just fucking nuts. You guys say already how great he is, or you expect him to make these throws, but when he makes these throws, you guys are all fucking surprised at it. John said, what's the 49ers excuses going to be for losing? Well, apparently they didn't know they didn't know the rules. They didn't know any of the rules. Apparently now they're already bitching and complaining now. I've never seen a team bitch so much in my life. The Eagles held themselves accountable after losing a Super Bowl. And the only thing they bitched about was the slippery field, which obviously, guys, if anybody's spamming in the chat, just time them out. Just time them out for like 5 minutes. Just time them out. Time them out. Time them out. Just do it. If anybody's doing it, don't time out for 24 hours. Just time out for like 5. John says, did Debo say anything yet? I don't think so. He went on Twitter and said something towards Chauncey and talked shit towards him because Chauncey was talking crap to everybody. But we'll see. These bases, 41ers every bit as annoying as Cowgirl fans, even more so, which I thought was impossible. Yeah, we found that out, didn't we? Oh, there you go, Lord. There you go, bro. Matt says, like Fletch said, Debo, keep the Eagles out your mouth. Nick braces. Then again, let's take it. Most Eagle fans had no clue why we originally hired Nick Sirianni as head coach, but it's turned better than worse. So let's see how it actually. Let's see now with actual coordinators. Yeah, I mean, you would think that Nick had some offensive capability to keep something in house when it came to play calling. When at least with Steichen left, I thought with Steichen, what he left with, and kind of what the Eagles took from that, with Brian Johnson being by Steichen's side, I figured that this past year we're going to unveil this playbook even more and would look even better. But that's just what it is. I think this is a last stand for Nick Sirianni, obviously. So, Enrique Garcia says, "What up, Joey? Always enjoy your content. Thank you for providing us with knowledge you have on football in general and for keeping it real." I don't think I have much knowledge. I think I'm just a fan at the end of the day. I think I just throw my opinions out there and that's it. So, but I appreciate it so much, Enrique. I appreciate it so much. I just see DeAndre Swift market value. And what is the market value? Chris says, Joe Banner used to cut players the day after. Oh, yeah, Joe Banner never kept players over 30 years old. Never did. Once you start getting down that path, the Eagles Super Bowl year, I think they were the second oldest roster in the league. I think Denver had the oldest roster at that time. We were the second. Joey getting ready to run up the art museum stairs. Jesus Christ. Jesus. He says, Winers are a bunch of crybabies. He says, I'm glad that Javon Hargrave is a 2-time loser in back-to-back Super Bowls. Nick says, interview with Chiefs defense said legit wanted the ball to be in Purdy's hands at the end. The excuses that came out, dude. Empowered Dad says, whoever saw Greenlaw go out with injury and think that was karma. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. It was funny when A.J. Brown tweeted out, put that tweet out after Travis Kelce pushed Andy Reid to and was like, if that was me, I would have been kicked out the league. Let me tell you something. And I said this in my video, if you didn't watch it, but this is what I said. I said pretty much if A.J. Brown pushed Nick Sirianni on the sideline, I'm telling you, everybody would have been after him. Every Eagle fan, trust me, and to be honest with you, like I was against that shit. You don't put your fucking hands on anybody, especially a coach. Never put your hands on anybody. You want to say what you got to say to him, fine, but no, don't do that. Matt says, don't want to hear a damn thing about Purdy winning a ring before Jalen ever again. I think Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback that could stop Patrick Mahomes. I honestly do. Chris said it's bittersweet now that Andy was built a dynasty in KC. He really has, dude. Really has. Logan says, hey, Joey, it was nice to see the Niners playing crying. It was. Shrek says, what's going on, Shrek Smith? Elaine says, I was weirded out on the Travis Andy Reid episode. Yeah, a little bit. He says, yo, Joey, that dude, Willie Gay, I forget his name, but he's a good linebacker. Might be a $7 million a year. Howie might get him. Oh, Willie Gay's great. He's fantastic, dude. He would definitely be if you're not going to go after Patrick Queen, I think Patrick Queen's going to make a lot of money. I think, who's the top free agent linebacker? I'd probably say it's Patrick Queen, right? I wouldn't say Andrew Van Ginkel. He's 29 years old. I wouldn't say people are going to go crazy over him, but I feel like he fits in Fangio's scheme. But the problem is he's 29 years old, unfortunately. So So he says, Ziggy Buffalo says Big Dom was at the game. Maybe he jinxed him. Tommy 5 says Ray McLeod was 1 point the receiver with most yards on San Francisco. That is true. That's true. You know what? It's just one of those things, man. Like, I mean, Debo had the hamstring injury. He only had, what, three catches for like 30-something yards. It wasn't much. I mean, Kittle was just... Kittle did nothing the whole entire game. Barely did anything. He was his karma bitch whiners. Nicholas says, we hear about fights during camp all the time, though. Do you only have such strong stance now because it was in a game? I don't really care. I honestly don't even care about fights in camp at all. Like, I don't even care, really. When it's during a game, depending on how you do it, it just depends. If it's in camp, it's just competition. Gets fiery, and it's hot weather. It's long. It's some long practices here and there. Guys are just competing. It happens, but I mean, we heard there were fights that happened between us and whatever we came to joint practices, but we never. We'll see what happens though. I wouldn't make a big deal about it, though. If it's on the field, yeah, it kind of sucks because you don't want to ruin any games. You don't want to cost your team any penalties and stuff like that. You think Herbert will make a jump under Harbaugh? I hope. I mean, I just think he's, I know he was kind of hurt last year, but he was inaccurate at times. There was some good play calls by Kellen Moore, but unfortunately, I watched a couple games of Herbert, and I felt like he just overthrew a lot of receivers wide open. He did it a lot of times last year. I think he definitely has something, no doubt. But Jeremy says, we need to get back to letting the coordinators do their thing. Nick needs to stay away from any play calling on either side of the ball. That's true. I don't want him to be involved at all whatsoever, like at all. That's what we're hoping. We're hoping that he's, Kellen Moore's not coming here to bring ideas. Kellen Moore is taking over this offense. That's honestly the game plan. I thought I had my soda right here. Nick said, Joey, my dude, what do you think about Travis almost knocking over Andy and screaming at him on the sideline? That shit was, yeah, I think that was really disrespectful, honestly. I mean, I don't know if he apologized to him or whatnot, but I mean, that can't happen. That can't happen. You don't ever put your hands on a fucking coach. You never put your hands on a coach. The coach says, Lockhart, I want Aziz Al-Shair as one of our linebacker coaches. Oh, linebackers. Oh, yeah. I mean, Bobby King, the new linebacker coach, coached up Aziz Al-Shair. It could be one of the top free agents. 163 tackles and 2 sacks. Hold on. I got to get my soda real quick. $163 tackles and 2 sacks. I mean, that's a lot of tackles. Now, tackles from a cornerback, a lot of tackles from a cornerback is always bad. Tackling, when safeties lead your team in tackles, that's not a great thing either. You know what I mean? It's never a great thing. Matt says, Travis got to control that temper. Totally agree. Willie Gay on a 1 year. Yeah, but it's not going to be a 1 year, though. It's not going to be a 1 year. You're not signing a guy in free agency at that caliber for 1 year. Remember when Andy Reid gave up when he and Deshaun Jackson chest bump versus the Giants? I remember. Elaine said a lot of talking around us trading for Surtain. What do you think? I don't think it's possible. I don't. The mock trade is not a bad one, but obviously now that changes. Like, that was for a Josh Sweat trade. Like, you're not trading Josh Sweat and HaasonReddick. You're going to keep Josh Sweat now. So that's not going to happen. And I'm not giving away 2 first-round picks. I think that's what it's going to cost, unfortunately. Ryan says Eagles, Jace Kelce expects to make a decision on NFL future in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so after looking at he's been trying to look at TV deals. I don't know what he's going to do, bro. I honestly don't. I'm honestly not sure if he's going to be here. And if he leaves, it's really going to leave an open hole at right guard. It is. Tyler Steen's not ready yet. He needs another offseason. He's not ready yet. And Jack Driscoll's a free agent. Sua Opeta's a free agent. Sua Opeta would be my most likely choice if they bring him back to be a starting right guard, but I don't know. I don't think the Eagles are going to go out and get a right guard in free agency. I don't think that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Chris, as long as fights stay in the realm of verbal arguments, it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Never put your hands on anybody. Never, never, never put your hands on anybody. You know? Matt says special teams in CMC fumble and block Pat Chase. Oh yeah, 100%. The fumble in the beginning was a big one. It was a huge one. The extra point was huge. I mean, it's crazy, dude. I mean, CMC fumbling the football, like I wouldn't even expect that, and it just happened. CMC is gonna get. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna last a few years with that team. I mean, I know you got to run the football, but man, that guy gets banged up like crazy. That guy ain't gonna last. That's why running backs don't get paid, because look at what CMC. I remember the video I saw like a few weeks ago. It was like late in the season. His girlfriend, his wife, actually video recorded like what his body looked like after a game. He had bruises all over his body. I mean, just getting banged up, crazy. D-Space, if Kelsey ain't back, they got that dude Jackson Powers, Johnson, and Cooper be a mock to us. Yeah, I mean that could be, that could be a thing. But what are they going to spend on him though? You know what I mean? Big Arch, I wonder how Hargrave feels losing to Casey 2 years in a row. I mean, at this point, I don't know. At this point, I'm not sure. But I mean, we weren't gonna look at the end of the day. Like they weren't gonna pay him. I mean, I didn't want to pay. You don't pay a 30-year-old like that much money. You just don't do it. I wouldn't do that. Not for that amount of money. You're not gonna do that. So definitely not happening. There's no doubt. VPR, what's going on, dude? He says, hey, Joey, finally got some time. Hopefully we'll return back to the States soon, but just want to come and chill for a while. Take care, bro. I appreciate it, VP, and thank you for serving the country, bro. As usual, man, doing your thing. Come back safe, man. Yeah, he's going to burn out. I think he's going to burn out. Rhonda's Lovely Sparks, what's going on? Says, in blood on their jerseys. See. Matt says, and people kept saying, stop making shit up when you're only talking about what's being reported if they don't like it. If there's... Wait, who's bitching about it? Ryan says, DeAndre Swift market value is 4 years, 27. Salary, $6,788,000, 24 NFL rank. It's not... It's not horrible. I mean, I think that's a fine number. I don't think that's a bad number at all. I mean, it's under $10 million. So I mean, under 10 a year is I think under 10 is still a good sign. But we'll just have to see. Vincent with the super chat, thanks so much, man. It's his first pick should be O-line, rest defensive draft, pick up T. Higgins for a third, wide out, re-sign Swift. T. Higgins. There's a lot of rumors T. Higgins might go to the Tennessee Titans because he has ties with the offensive coordinator, that went to Tennessee as the head coach. So we'll see what happens there, but I don't know if they're going to spend. I know Kellen Moore wants a prolific, really good wide receiver 3. We're actually going to have probably a very fantastic upgrade at that position. That's what I feel that's going to go forward. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd is another one that's available as well. So we'll see with that. We'll see what happens. But re-signing Swift, look, a little preview of the video I did tomorrow. Okay, look how they use look how these pass catching running backs, okay? Like they're fantastic. Okay, like James Cook and seeing Pacheco and even not really, they don't really use Pacheco like that, but at least like Raheem Rice, dude. I mean, look at him. I mean, you got to use I'm sorry, but Kenneth Gainwell is not your big dual threat pass catcher. He's not that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I mean, I feel like Swift is the best free agent running back out there that the Eagles really need to sign. I do. I know the Eagles' MO is not to re-sign running backs, but they have to change some things up. You know, they have to leave some things on the table here. Swift was underutilized. Everybody was underutilized. I think we all know that. Joey shakes my brother from another mother, even though he's a Eagles fan. No, I get it. It's all right. Cowboy fans and Eagle fans can get along at some points. It's the offseason. It is what it is. You know, appreciate you coming in, Rhonda, a whole lot. Chris said, will they go O-line heavy in the draft? I don't know. They're going to go heavy O-line? No, I don't think they'll go too... They might do a later pick. They might do like a mid-round pick on a lineman as well, but they always draft a guy between the first and third rounds. Always do. And I feel like this could be the year they do that again. They always, they know what's going on with Jason Kelce. They know what's going on with him, you know? Biggles said, if Kelce doesn't come back, we can just put Devonta Smith there. Yeah, I mean, might as well, right? I mean, they'll put him in as a blocker. They'll put him in as a blocker for, screen passes and all that stuff. You know, but we'll see. I mean, might as well, right? That's what they've been doing. Matt says, idiots in your YouTube comments. Oh, that's fine, dude. I get criticized every day. That's just the name of the game, dude. I get criticized every day for stupid shit. I don't care. I read the comments, but I don't go too much into like the negative ones. Like, I'll read them, but I don't go crazy with it. We got Rhonda's Lovely Sparks. Welcome to the Camper Tier. Thank you so much, Rhonda. Rhonda, the first Cowboys fan. I think the first Cowboys fan to be a member, honestly. Because I don't think there's any Cowboy fans as members. But I appreciate it so much, Rhonda, and the support so much. Appreciate it so much. Matt says, but I'm like, if they don't like it, there's a door. No one's forcing them to watch or stick around. Tommy says, does Howie not see the lines in Texas GM with head coaches have been doing in draft? Take some notes. I'm not saying that Howie's like drafted bad the last few years. I think the philosophy definitely needs to change regarding certain positions that he needs to put more attention to. I think that those are the main key factors going forward. Linebacker, safety, and fucking running back. Sorry, but it does. They need to find a tight end, a number 2 tight end badly. And they might have to find a future tight end as well, because Dallas Goedert's 28 years old right now. You know what I mean? How many more years does Goddard have left? You know? How long do they think they're going to hold on to him? So we'll see. Ryan says, I don't think Boston Scott is back. I think he's a waste of time. I think it's a waste. I think it's a total waste of $1 million to bring him back. For what reason? I don't know. But I mean, I do know, because he's just, what is he here for? I mean, they don't even use him. And I don't think they're even going to use him. I don't think he fits into what I don't think Gainwell fits into what Kellen Moore wants. I would say that Boston Scott would fit a little bit more into what Kellen Moore wants, but I still don't think he's what, I still don't think it's, I don't think it's the best option or an added option. I think it's just a waste of money. Jeremy says, we put Devontae right up in the center spot and brotherly shove, he'd be like Max and Grinch's dog. Chris said, you need to plan on Goddard missing 3 to 5. Yeah, that's another problem. He gets fucking hurt every year. I know the injury this year was like really not his fault. Like, somebody broke his forearm, so I get it. But the problem I have is that, like, when you're out 4 to 5 weeks, the Eagles never try to, like, Calcaterra's had some starting experience the past couple years. Jack Stahl's had a lot of starting experience, but they didn't utilize. It's like they totally said, oh, well, Goddard's out. We got to figure this out now. We don't know how to. You traded for Albert O in the offseason, and you didn't even use him. I mean, why trade a draft pick for Albert O? Now he's a free agent. We didn't get to see what he could do, and I was actually really excited for him. They kept 4 tight ends on the roster beginning of the regular season, which they never do. Never do. Usually it's 3, but 4. I was like, damn, 4 running backs, 4 tight ends, 7, 8 fucking corners. Like, I figured they weren't really keeping that much. Oh, the draft definitely has to change, Dave. There's no doubt. Blake says, Joey, which position should we go for in the first round? Could use someone else. I mean, look, I don't know what they're going to do because I don't know what they're doing in free agency. Like, I got to see, like, what's left. What's the position that is glaring right now? Like, I don't know what they're... If you're going to get... If you wanted me to guess right now what they're doing, it would be cornerback. Just because I think it's... time right now when it comes to James Bradbury. I think they're going to extend him, and I think they're going to cut him and then kind of deplete that dead cap for the next few years. So, Elaine says, did you see Jason Kelsey's look at the end of the game? His eyes was telling us a whole new different thing. I think he's weighing out his options, but I think he might come back. Yeah, I mean, I've had a feeling that he might. You know, seeing his brother win 2 Super Bowls, especially one against him, is just kind of crazy. You know what I mean? I get it. Hogart Hobby says definitely need to go heavy on getting players for the D line. Yeah, they need another edge rusher, no doubt. They need another edge rusher. They need another one. Mythical says think Penny will be used. No, well, he's a free agent now. They're not bringing him back. And Power says they got good use out of Penny. Yeah, I don't know. LeBron says season just ended yesterday, Joey. I already missed football. Yeah, it'll be back sooner or later. I'm excited for the offseason, though. I'm pretty pumped for free agency. I'm pretty pumped for the draft. You know, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll give it some more time. Yeah, Penny. We know Penny's a free agent. He's going to be a free agent. He will only sign a 1-year deal, so he's you know, he'll be done. Cole said there's a realistic chance we spend all of our 3 picks on a tight end, running back, and offensive tackle, knowing Howie's track record, plus his spent the last 2 years drafting defense early. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll... Yeah, I mean, I think I would draft a rotational running back. Even if you sign Swift, I would draft a rotational guy in the mid-rounds that fits what they do offensively. You know, this offensive line can cover a lot of weaknesses to your running backs because, you know, it's that good. You can make a lot of running backs look good, but you want to get someone that obviously fits what Kellen Moore wants. Another speedy type dual threat guy. If not having one, why not have 2? You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. And I think if you sign a linebacker to big money, and if you sign a prove-it guy at linebacker just to add more depth and give Nakobe Dean more opportunity and obviously more competition, don't want to make him too comfortable, I think you have to go into that second round and get another linebacker. I think you got to go all 3, to be honest with you. I think they should sign 3 at linebacker, to be honest, you know, and draft a guy. So at least you have some assurance that you have a second round pick linebacker, whether it's, I don't know, whoever it's going to be at that spot. You know, we'll see. Ron said, I want to draft Braylon Allen. He's a dog. Pollard's most likely going from us. Yeah, they're going to have to draft another. I mean, you have that other guy you drafted in the 7th round? I mean, I don't know how far he's come, but, you know, we'll see. Ryan says Devin White and Buda Baker could come. I think Buda's still on contract. I think didn't Buda end up getting like not an extension, but like a pay raise for another year or something like that? Or maybe, I mean, don't you have to trade for Buda Baker? Is he an actual free agent this year? And Devin White's apparently has fallen off because he hasn't really started too much this season. So I would sign Devin White on a prove-it deal, to be honest with you. Devin White's young. He's what, like 25? I mean, Devin White just might need a new surrounding. I mean, he might just need a new background of another team and just a fresh start somewhere else. Sometimes that's all it takes for guys to kind of revive their careers a little bit. But I would still, who are they going to pay big money to? I feel like linebacker they will pay, whether it's Shire from the Titans because Bobby King is here. I don't think, as much as I want Patrick Queen, I just think it's going to be too much of a bidding war. You know, we'll see. You know, Willie Gay's another one, obviously, we talked about earlier. Andrew Van Ginkel's, you know, a great year with Vic Fangio with the Dolphins, but he's 29 years old. You're going to put that much money into a 29-year-old linebacker. It's not too many long years after that for a while. So there's a lot of different moves they can make, but, you know, I would sign. I mean, you're signing Willie Gay or you're signing Shire from the Titans to big money, maybe, and then Sign Devin White as a prove-it deal on a 1 year, and then go into obviously the draft and draft a guy in the second round. You know, that's what I would do. We just signed a good undrafted free agent. Well, dude, I don't know why they. You know what? I don't know why they don't bring Braden Mann back. I thought Braden Mann was great. I mean, Aaron Sipos, holy shit! But this guy, he was really good. Really good. Chris says Barkley might be shot, but would you bring him in for cheap? I would. I honestly would. Shot, yeah. I mean, I think he suffered in his career because, you know, when you get drafted top 10 as a running back, it's necessarily not a great thing because usually these top 10 teams are not good. Usually these top 10 teams are rebuilding teams. The top 10 is usually teams that are obviously not doing well, but necessarily don't have great offensive lines either. And getting drafted to the Giants was probably one of the biggest mistakes. He had no control over it. He got drafted there, but I've always wanted to see what he would look like behind this offensive line. And as not the main back, as probably a counter piece, but depending on his money, though, I don't know. It'd be really hard for me to have no Swift and you know, Saquon Barkley here full time. You know. But I would, if it was, I don't think he'll be cheap. He wants more money. I don't think he's going to get it. He tried to ask for more money, like $12-13 million. Yeah, it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Yeah, King Henry's going to be too expensive, and if you want to rent him for a year and pay him a lot of money on a 1 year deal, then fine. But for the future of this team, it makes no sense. He's just another rental at the end of the day. You know, that's just what it is. Bron says, Joey, I almost punched my TV yesterday. Every 5 seconds, I'd see Taylor Swift on my TV. Yeah, it was pretty annoying. You know, she brings in money to the NFL. She brought in, what, $300 million? I think it was like $300 million to the NFL, just her showing up to games. I mean, it was so crazy that, you know, I'm not going to get into it too much, but it was so crazy that she would show up to like any away games and they would charge more money because Taylor Swift was there. You know, I'm tired of talking about it, but let's see, Elaine says they need to sign my Swiftie back. I know. Trust me. The number one move I want to make is DeAndre Swift coming back. If he comes back, I'll be very, very happy. I really would. I'd be ecstatic happy. Break said, this is literally the first time I see us actually getting players not from the trenches. This is Howie's year to change up the strategy in drafting because yeah, I mean, trenches are great, but you're not going to get far. Like, I need to get younger at linebacker. I need to get younger at corner, especially. We haven't had a young corner since, I mean, seriously, I don't even remember. We haven't had a young corner that was good. A lot of years, man. A lot of fucking years. I'm done. Says we need Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid McKinstry would be nice. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, Blake said it. You know, the philosophy definitely has to change. Like, you know, I love getting trenches, and I think they drafted 2 really good guys in the trenches. Now they have an issue at edge. Now they're going to have an issue at edge, and I feel like it's not promising that Reddick is going to be traded, but I feel like something's going to happen soon. I don't know. Especially with this new news coming out on the, you know, there's going to be teams that have interest. You know, I'll have a video out on some other trade rumors from HaasonReddick as well, which I'll discuss in the video. But so far, Atlanta looks like there's some good, there's some major interest there. Nelson Aguilar is officially a Philadelphia Eagle in 24. Why? Why? No, that ship has sailed a long time ago. Yo, if the Eagles get Ladd McConkey, fucking watch out. as much as I think As much as I think Britton Covey should, I really tried to like how they tried to incorporate Britton Covey in the slot this year at the end of the year. And it just, they really tried to do different things. It just looks so horrible. But man, Britton Covey needs a bigger role in this offense as a third down gadget type receiver, kind of use his speed. Like, we need an offense that's interchangeable, that's just fluid, that's so many I mean, Kellen Moore's like I think top 10 in pre-snap. He throws under center a lot under center. He runs from under center. I mean, just saw crossers and my God, it makes watching these playoffs especially. I was like, man, dude, I'm dying for this. And this was before we signed Kellen Moore. I was like, man, I'm dying for an offense to look so like, man, like, I want my eyes to get tricked. Where I think the play is going one direction, it's going the other direction. I mean, that's what I kind of want to go through, you know? It's crazy. But if they get Ladd McConkey, dude, that guy is an ankle break. I don't care about speed. Like, he's got speed, but this man has got this guy. We need explosiveness off the line. We need we need route running capability. We need somebody explosive off the line, like I said. And Ladd McConkey, dude, like, I don't know, his size might be the problem, but they need a guy like that in the slot. They really do. Now, Kellen Moore is not going to keep that. Kellen Moore is not going to sign an old vet like Julio. He's going to get, because what we're getting out of Kellen Moore is every strand of your offense, every receiver, every tight end, he will use everybody. He will distribute, not saying distribute the ball to everybody every game, you know, but I feel like he gets the most out of his roster and doesn't just aim for one guy. That's how creative, you know. The Kellen Moore signing, I was a big fan of it. I wasn't down on it like a lot of people were. I'm hoping a lot of people are more open to it as time goes on, you know? So, I mean, we'll see, but, you know, we will see. Ladd McConkey's one of my top guys. No, I don't know where he's going to land, depending on how the combine's in a couple weeks, so we're going to find out a lot of stuff. Joey, do you think the Eagles will be good next season? It really depends on these coordinators and how much Nick has hands off with the playbook. I mean, that's really what it comes down. I'm not really worried about the defense too much. I'm really not, because Vic Fangio is going to get his guys in the building. I know that Vic will get his guys. Like, I don't question it, because Vic's not just going to walk in here and be like, hey, Vic Fangio, sorry, but you're going to have to use what we want to use. Where, you know, if Bradbury's staying, then he's staying. If this guy's staying, then he's staying. You know, you're going to have to work with what we give you. No, he's hiring with guys he's been successful with in the past. He's with guys that, unfortunately, I think with the Eagles and Vic Fangio is highly respected. And if you got what you got in 22 with this defense, top 3 in sacks, top 3. I'm talking about last year with Miami. I mean, top 5 in sacks, top third in pressures. I mean, with a bend don't break defense, but third in pressures is pretty damn good. I don't think he has the players right now to run that defense. I don't think he has them, period. He needs a lot. You know, if you have four guys back in coverage, 3 guys on the line, since it's a 3-4 scheme, I don't think you have the athletic capability with a lot of players that you have right now. If you can take a look at our roster and say, oh yeah, there's a lot of, you know, athletic guys, I think Nolan Smith could take turn with this defense and might work out a lot better. So we'll see. Chris says Leo and Sheldon were the last time we had 2 young and good cornerbacks. Exactly. We have nothing outside of Dean. That's why this position has been ignored. TJ Edwards playing fantastic, man. Just fantastic. Unfortunately, they never signed him back. So other than Nakobe Dean and Ben Van Simmeren, which I think Ben Van Simmeren's a good freak athlete. He was the undrafted free agent from Michigan State. But he, I thought, showed some nice things, but I still think he needs more time, you know? Rise DeAndre Swift might take a discount on the. I think so. I think he will, and you know what? I think DeAndre Swift will come back, and I think that he. I think he really wants to come back. I really do, because you know what? I don't think what teams could sign him right now. I don't know. I don't think some of the top teams will even. I don't know if there's a top team that's really needs a running back badly right now. He just ran over 1,000. He just ran over 1,000 yards first time of his career. And when he knows that there's a new coordinator in the building, and when he knows that he's going to be in the passing game a lot more, because let me tell you something, he got Austin Eckler in the passing game a lot. Now Austin Eckler's a free agent too, but as a natural start, stop, speed type pass catching running back, dual threat wise, I think DeAndre Swift is just too fucking good. How many times in the red zone, Swift would go to the right, stop, run at 100% speed to the left. He stops on a dime, cuts, and runs at 100%. It's crazy what Swift can do. Let Swifty be Swifty. That's all that matters. I'm done. Says AJ Terrell for Reddick. That's probably the number one move that you think is going to happen. Would they give up AJ Terrell? I don't know. Joey, who would be your starting DBs and safeties right now? I don't know, because right now, as in I make no moves, I have to use what I use right now. I would say, because I hate James Bradbury, I would say Slay, Keely Ringo, Isaiah Rodgers on the inside, because I'm very excited for him. Safeties, it's Reed Blankenship and I don't know. I don't think we have anybody. Sidney Brown is, I would say Sidney Brown. I would say Sidney Brown, obviously, because he plays safety and corner. I think he's a hybrid player. I think they'll turn him into a hybrid player. I think he's going to fit Vic Fangio's system well. But that torn ACL pissed me off, man. He won't be back till October. I think that would be it, really. I'm not saying that Keely Ringo is going to be the starting number 2, but if you're saying as of right now, that's probably what it would be. Graver hurts to throw the ball 40 times a game. There's nothing, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's not even that he throws the ball a lot. I don't get why that's a big deal. Kellen Moore still runs the fucking ball. Kellen Moore actually involves his running backs a lot, which the Eagles haven't done at all. Simple as that. So, do I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott? 100%. 100%. I feel like Hurts had what he had around him last year. I felt like Cowboys coaches were better last year. Every coach was better than the Eagles last year. As the season went on, yeah, it got worse. And we got exposed pretty much because we didn't make any adjustments. We didn't have the coach to make adjustments, unfortunately. So the trolling shit is just old at this point. And Kellen Moore leaves the Cowboys, and now the Cowboys hate Kellen Moore when they started losing in the playoffs. And now the same problem that you were having with Kellen Moore is the same fucking problem that you're having right now, and that's Dak Prescott. It's the same problem. No Scott Linehan. He was the problem. You got him out. Kellen Moore got him out. Now it's Mike McCarthy. Now everyone's starting to fucking hate Mike McCarthy. The main problem with the Cowboys is that fucking quarterback. And when they get into playoff games, it seems like the front office gets involved with their play calling, because why wasn't Dak and CD on the same page the whole game? I don't get it. I don't get it. There's just shit that makes no sense with them. And trust me, we have a shit ton of problems, or had a shit ton of problems. And the same issue is happening with the Cowboys every single year. Every year. Cole said, I'm done with the Godspeed problem. Xavier Worthy torched him on the go routes all day this year and last. Rather Nate Wiggins. He's not as complete as a player, but at least he's 20-year-old, so he's plenty young. Devin said, if Jalen was in the Super Bowl, he would have won. Niners couldn't do anything in the fourth quarter. No, they couldn't get anything done. The pressure was getting there, and the coverage was really good, man. It was really, really good. But Spags knows how to get pressure. Spags knows when to use pressure. He's one of the best defensive coordinators that could do it. He's the first defensive coordinator that's won 3 Super Bowls with the same team. I mean, it's just insane, dude. It's nice to have a defensive coordinator that stays in your building for 5 fucking years. It definitely helps. You know? Break says, my brain always wants to draft needs and get young in those positions, but that's not always the best way to draft. Well, that's how we used to draft. We used to draft need over best player, and that's bad. That's really bad. I think you have to get best player available regardless. You know, first round best player available, but it's hard going from need to best player, but there's always a lot of good players in the first round. As you go down, as you move down in the rounds, then you start to go more need because, you know, you're not looking at a crap ton of great talents. So it's Russian roulette in the draft. You don't know what you're going to get until they hit the field. You're paying them, or you're drafting them and paying them off of obviously what you think they're going to do. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do that. Not all the time. Obviously, some draft picks are bust. Some draft picks don't work out. You know, but that's what the draft is all about, man. Tommy Five said, if we could sign Winfield Jr. and linebacker Shire, then go draft one of the Terron Arnold, Cooper, Dijon, Kool-Aid, McKinstry, and then draft Edgar and Cooper and lad, that would be fucking awesome. That's monstrous. That's monstrous. Unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna be able to get Terron Arnold and McKinstry and Edgar and Cooper. That's like 3 guys in the first round that one of them could move down, but I don't think that's even possible. But it would be great though. Ryan Campbell said, if Reddick leaves, that changes our draft. I think it does too. It might not really change the draft. It might change free agency, to be honest with you. I think edge rusher is more of a free agent move than it is a draft move. I think it is. That's just me. Make Money Not Friends says, we need an edge rusher, Chop Robertson or kid from UCLA. Oh, that name that you can't pronounce? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. John says, coaching staff, in my opinion, is pivotal this season. Oh, yeah, dude. It makes our whole season, dude. LeBron says, Dallas Turner and Chris Boswell are some good Bama linebackers y'all can look into drafting. I know the Eagles are going to have a ton of interest. I think they're going to sign one to big money. I think they're going to draft one on day 2. I think they're going to draft one day 2, and I think they're going to sign one free agency. That's what I think they're going to do. Broad Street Sports Podcast said, yo, Joey, do you think drafting Nolan Smith over Brian Branch was a bad move? I know everyone's... Well, at the time it wasn't. To be honest, I know the Eagles missed out on Brian Branch. The Eagles missed out on Kyle Hamilton and some of these other guys. I think people are just saying this now. The problem is that we don't know how to... You know, we didn't know how to... I don't even know how to say it, but the Eagles producing draft picks have been a problem. Usage of players have been a problem. If Nolan Smith was drafted somewhere else, I feel like he would have at least done something. He came out of camp with a stinger injury. And then what happened was they had him listed as a Sam linebacker just playing special teams. Sean Desai is the reason why Nolan Smith hasn't produced much of anything this year. Derek Barnett was taking snaps away from him. Sean Desai, middle of the season, gave an excuse to the media that, there's only so many snaps we can give so many people and so many. He didn't know how to incorporate him in the defense with the rotation. You didn't have a smart defensive coordinator because it was hired by a brainless fucking head coach in Nick Sirianni. Okay? I don't care. If they drafted Brian Branch or Kyle Hamilton here, they probably wouldn't have done anything. Sorry. They probably wouldn't have done anything. That's how you have to think of it, too. Like, even if they were drafted here, would they have really been the players that they are right now? In the first couple years? I don't know. But I don't really regret anything. Like, Nolan Smith is not a regret yet because I feel like he's going to bulk up a little bit. I think in this scheme, they got to take advantage of Nolan Smith's athleticism like they did in Georgia as a guy backing off in coverage. Obviously, can be an outside linebacker in this scheme. I think has the potential, could move up to the line, could be disruptive, I think there's a lot of good things to take out of Nolan Smith, but we have to see progression. It's not even his fault. It's this, the coaching staff never really gave him a chance this year. You can't just throw him in at the end of the year and be like, oh yeah, well, how are you, tell me this, how are you supposed to evaluate your fucking roster when you played this way this year? Seriously, not one guy in the defense could tackle. The whole defensive line hit a fucking brick wall. You couldn't get a pass rush. Your coverage and your pass rush were not integrated together. It's hand in hand. The pass rush and the coverage is hand in hand. I mean, it's just, seriously, how are you supposed to evaluate your roster? Who to cut, who to trade, who to release? Seriously, I mean, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how those guys get paid to do it. I really don't. You know? Let's say, says Joey, Dallas finally hired Zimmer. Your thoughts? Yeah, Zimmer's an interesting one because, I mean, yeah, Zimmer hasn't worked for the Cowboys. I think, he was a defensive assistant from like, what was it, like 96, 97 to like 2000. I don't know. He was there a long time ago. I think Zimmer is, are you going to get a quality defense with Zimmer on aggressiveness and getting to the quarterback? Sure. He's had those defenses, but quality over time, I just don't know. Because the last few years he was with Minnesota, in 17 he was great, but obviously didn't play well in the playoffs still for a couple seasons, for a few years. But I don't know if you're going to get less quality over aggressive play calling with Mike Zimmer than really Dan Quinn. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it got better. I think the aggressiveness is still going to be there with Dallas's defense, but quality of how it's going to be run and, Al Harris still in the building is going to help, I guess. Dan Quinn brought a lot of assistance with him, but the last few years with Mike Zimmer, his defenses have fallen apart on record. But, every year's a new year, Every year's a new year. Like, coaches change, it happens. Mike Zimmer might come in and make it the best defense they ever had. I don't know, And he's an old school coach, which is a great thing, which I wish we had. I'm not a big of the scheme from Vic Fangio, but if I want a Vic Fangio scheme ran the same way, why not get the best guy to do it? The man himself that was supposed to be the defensive coordinator this past year, and it never fucking happened. So that's what I'm taking out of it. Tanner says, I saw a mock draft that had Colorado State tight end Dallin Holker coming to Philly in the later rounds. He was a beast at BYU, but we'll see what happens. I think they're going to draft one too. I honestly think they're going to draft a tight end. I do. I think they will. LeBron said, I think we should look into trading Gallup or just cutting him and draft Keon Coleman in the first round. Oh, Keon Coleman is like a miniature like DK Metcalf from what I heard. I got to watch him more, but I heard he's a beast though. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't even know why the Cowboys even paid. I mean, didn't they pay him off an ACL? I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought they paid him off. I thought they paid Gallup off an ACL. He's a weird one to me because he shows up when he shows up, and I don't know. I thought they paid him after coming off an ACL. Could be wrong though. John says, when are we going to draft Goddard? Yeah, they never found out who was their number 2 this past year. I mean, seriously. It pisses me off, dude. This coaching staff pissed me off. If I even smell a fucking scent of Nick getting his hands on this playbook this year, I'm going to flip my shit so fucking fast. I'm telling you. I told everybody after that Cowboys game, after we lost to the Niners, I said, if we lose to the Cowboys, I'm going to turn into a fan that nobody likes. And a lot of people don't like me right now. A lot of people are not a fan of me right now. That's fine. I don't care. You know, at the end of the day, I'm listening to a million people in a live chat give me their opinions. I don't have to necessarily agree, but at the end of the day, like, we're both trying to figure out, like, to get this team to another championship. I like somebody that has a different opinion because, like, it's not boring. If we all agreed on the same shit all the time, it would be boring. Let's just be real, you know? We need a draft. Yeah, I know. Terrence Bond 14, what's going on, man? It says, can't wait for the draft prospects highlights. They're coming soon. I've been working on some. I'm getting a few already ready. I'm actually recording a whole bunch, and I'm gonna boom release some. So it's coming. Pause. Rossi, in your opinion, what is one player in the roster nobody's talking about but could easily get traded? That nobody's talking about that could easily get traded? I don't know. I'm not sure. Realistically can get traded? I'm not sure, dude. I think anybody, yeah, I don't think it's not obviously Bradbury because we're all talking about him. So yeah, well, Maddox is going to get cut. $7.1 million post June cut. He's getting cut, dude. It's happening. I don't know why they trade for Albert O. It was a waste of fucking time. I don't know why they did. I think it was the biggest waste of time. He had this acrobatic catching. He had this speed. I thought he would have been our fastest, I thought there was something there. And they just never used him. Like, why do you trade for guys and sign guys that don't fucking use them? LeBron says, yes, they extended Gallup to a 5-year, $52 million deal, which is stupid knowing he just coming. Yeah, that's what I was confused off of. 5 fucking years off an ACL. I figured maybe like 3-4 years, but at least 4 years. But that's crazy money though. Darius Slay. Yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna do it, and I don't know if would that be a surprise though? Would that be a big surprise? I don't know if it would be. I think at the end of the day, they're going to keep Slay for one more year. And either if they draft a corner in the first round to let him and Slay have their thing this year to take over as the number one guy later on. I think that's maybe what's going to happen. I think Bradbury has to go. At least with Slay, when I've seen him play man-to-man this year, he's played good. But I know they don't do that in Vic Fangio's scheme. So, because this pass run, I don't know how Vic Fangio runs. I don't know how Vic Fangio has third and pressures. I don't know how he does it. He had a good defensive line with Miami last year, and I gotta say he did a great job getting pressure. You know what I mean? But the thing is, when you have 4 guys in coverage, you can always bring a guy in the box. You can always say if Nolan Smith is an outside linebacker, you always bring him in the box. You know, you can always have him just like sneak around on the defensive line and have him shoot a gap. Like that's how creative you can get with this defense. And I think that's what they did. That's why Andrew Van Ginkel had a fantastic season, because he was getting quarterback pressure. 53 quarterback pressures for Andrew Van Ginkel. He only had 6 sacks, but 53 quarterback pressures. That's a lot. It's a lot of pressures, man. Just getting pressures is going to help somebody else get a sack. You could creep up these linebackers and you can use them in different combinations. It gives you more choice of what you want to do while not giving up the big play. So if you really upgrade these our edge rushers are horrible. Besides HaasonReddick, if Reddick gets traded, Josh Wett's just not enough. I'm sorry. On last year of his deal, they have to get an edge rusher. And Nolan Smith needs to bump up a little bit and just have more production this year. But they need more out of their edge. Enrique Garcia says, Joey, I'm a fan and I agree with you. Sirianni needs to stay away. He definitely does. Yeah, Gainwell needs to go too. Jules says, you are the best, Joey. I always look forward to your streams. You keep it real, and that's what we need. I always do. If I'm not real, I'm not doing this on YouTube. Simple as that. I don't care, you know. Thomas, did you know DC Spagnuolo is from Jim Johnson? Yes. Coaching tree. Goddamn, I missed the scheme. Wish we'd go back to it. I know. It's a whole nother reason. Chris says if Max takes a pay cut, do we? No. We're done. It's over. I don't care if we pay him $500,000 for the year. He's gone. It's over with. It's done with. I am done. Isaiah Rodgers, welcome to Philadelphia. Welcome to Philadelphia. John says, literally, Joey, we went from Chad Lewis to Brent Selk to Zach Ertz to Dallas Goedert to who? To nobody that they're even trying to. I mean, they're going to have to find the next guy. Slay may stay, but it's okay. Make money, not friends. A stupid move for Albert O, and don't pay him behind Dallas in the Penny situation. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, what were they thinking all year? Like, oh, you trade for a guy, which you expect if you use draft. I mean, Howie must think a 7th round pick is, you know, I know it's a 7th round pick. I get it, but it's like, dude, like, it's a draft pick we could have done something with. You know, you never know what you can get. I know a 7th round pick is nothing to really shake a stick at, but. Who that dude? What's going on, man? It says cornerback Lattimore will be on the trade block during the draft watch. Huh. Why is that? What's his deal looking like? Is he got paid? Didn't he get paid? I don't even know if he got paid already. I don't even know what's going on. I haven't watched anything with the Saints in like forever. Appreciate you coming in, man. Cole says if they don't want to that have 3 O linemen at 20 plus a year, maybe Landon. Yeah. He says, Nick just says, what do you want to hear, but no real commitment. Yeah. I'm telling you, like, you guys are smarter. I'm telling you, I think all of you guys and all of us are smarter than what we see. It's crazy. What do you think it will take to get Brian Burns if he hits free? There's rumors right now that Brian Burns is getting tagged, but I don't know. I think there is a chance. I think I wanted him this past trade deadline. I wanted him, but LeBron said, do you think y'all should have never fired Gannon? Y'all led the league in so many categories, especially sacks. It wasn't because of Gannon. It was because of Nick Sirianni, because we know now who had their hands all over the playbook, and Nick had a lot to do with what Gannon couldn't do or wasn't allowed to do. Gannon came back to Philadelphia this past year and gave us so much pressure in that game. I almost said, who is this defensive coordinator? Like, who is this guy? Plus, Vic Fangio was a consultant for us, helping out with the defense. With that, really did help too. But I don't think it was Gannon. I think it was Nick, because that defense is almost... I think that defense has his hands all over it when it came to why were we playing so off in the second half, letting teams come back every single game. Eagles will be up 2 to 4 touchdowns, and in the fucking second half, they let their foot off the gas. And why were they doing it? Because I think Nick wanted that. I think Nick had more hands on, because his defense almost looks the same as, not the same as in that, because the coaching was just bad. It was just bad. I think Gannon was a better coach for the players than Sean Desai, but I think Nick was the biggest problem regarding both playbooks, offense and defensively. So it already showed. Rick says, any chance Hassan stays? Yo, there's a chance. I mean, look, he's just going. The Eagles are, a lot of players do this. They're allowing him to go out and just see like what his value is. If there is a team out there, you know, then they'll get it done. If not, Hassan stays. And maybe the Eagles extend him. Maybe he won't get the money he's looking for. He might not get the money he's looking for. And you know what? He'll just probably say, you know what? I'm going to go back to the Eagles because that's where I should be. And if he comes back to the Eagles, say, hey, I want this number, but I'd rather take this number from you. I'd rather take a lower number from you guys than the same number to somebody else. So it's just one of those things where if they trade him, am I going to be upset? No. I mean, yeah, you're getting rid of like a guy off of double-digit sacks for 2 seasons with the Eagles, but at the same time, like, they got to get younger at that spot too. They might have if they get rid of HaasonReddick, they're definitely drafting a defensive end early, or they're going after one in free agency. That's what it's going to tell you. Simple as that. Seven round pick ain't shit to you, right? Yeah, I get it. Like, I get it, dude. But it's just like, but you don't even. I mean, he only had what? I don't know. He got into a few snaps. Albert O got a few snaps this year. Johnny says, can we all agree that this is Jordan Davis make it or break it year? He needs to show us something for a full 17 game season and beyond. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are down on Jordan Davis right now, but he definitely flopped in the second half of the season. But guys, he's going back to his natural position at nose in this scheme with Vic Fangio. He's going back to his natural position. Okay, he's going to be working his ass off. He had and to be honest, I think the rotation ended up bad. At the end of the year, Jalen Carter, I think for a couple games, he had like 20 snaps. Like, how much more reps these other guys are getting, especially Jordan Davis, His conditioning's got to get a little bit better. I'm not giving up on Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis not only showed that he's a good run stuffer, but holy shit, dude, that guy was a pass rusher this year. At least in the first quarter of the season, I thought he played really well. I was shocked over that more than anything. I was like, damn, I was expecting him to just run stuff, stop some runs, but damn, dude, but as a nose tackle, it changes everything because he can't, sure, he can get double teamed as a nose, but it might free up some one-on-ones. It might free up some one-on-ones entirely with him. So going back to his original position at nose might be the best thing. We'll see. I have a lot of faith. I could say that I feel very good about Jordan Davis going into next year. I think the coaching has a lot to do with it. Okay. Josh Sweat had a sack the last game of the season against the Giants. He didn't get a sack before that until week 9. And sacks aren't everything, but it just shows you how how this defensive line hit a wall. Back when we played these gauntlet games, we were getting these fourth quarter stops from this defensive line, and we were doing it over and over. And it was like, damn, I wish they could do this the whole fucking game, but hey, they didn't get it done. No old players on 1-year deals, and I'm good. Yeah, I'm kind of done with the one. I don't mind 1-year deals, but your whole position group can't be 1-year deals. Morrow, Zach Cunningham was a good linebacker out of a bad group. I mean, and he played okay, but LeBron said at the end of the day, Eagles supposed to play hard every game, but I would have been going off against my former coach's team who literally cost us the Super Bowl. 49ers really broke the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, that's what happened. I mean, they went into that game not showing any fight, so something must have happened before that. And I think that just made it even worse. Something happened before the game, because pregame, the Eagles didn't look ready. Bradbury the 49ers were going through pregame warm-ups. They were, bumping into Bradbury. They were being dickheads. And I think something happened behind the scenes before that game. Right before that game, because they went into the game not showing any fight at all. So it's telling me that something must have happened before then. Travis breaks the thoughts on Quinn Mitchell and how the corner position should be addressed. It's going to be addressed by trades. What could happen is, because you have 2 second-round picks right now and your draft compensation right now, a third-round pick at a compensatory from Javon Hargrave, I think it depends on if they trade HaasonReddick and who they trade to what team and what they can get back for him. I think they could be in the market for trading for a cornerback if Reddick gets traded. I think they'll be in the market for in the first round. I want to see what Quinn Mitchell does in his. I know he's an aggressive corner. His Senior Bowl was pretty good. I need to see him at the combine as well. That's really going to help me out a lot more with him. Did he move into the first round? He could have. But I think it just depends on free agency, what they do in trades. If they trade Reddick to a team, they could get a pick and a player back. They could get a pick and a player back in compensation. So Reggie says, hey, Joey, how would you feel if Howie drafts a center in the first round, Jackson Power Johnson from Oregon? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why would you draft? Oh, you would draft a center just because you just would keep Cam Jurgens. You wouldn't put Cam Jurgens at center anymore. It would probably be easier to draft a center than find a right guard, probably. But until we know what's going on with Jason Kelce, I'm not going to extend the conversation too much until we kind of know. But they could go either or. I think your suggestion is a lot easier. But I don't know if they would go full out in the first round and get a center like that. I don't know. Because that'll be a big hole. If that's what they want to replace, Dickerson was supposed to be our next center. Dickerson became their left guard. So now, I'm not saying, I think Jurgens has a little bit of an injury thing with him, a little bit. Make money now, for instance, Buda Baker has a club option. I say get it done and figure it out. Yeah. I didn't know if he did or not. John Coach says, what's your take on Kevin Byard? Should we look somewhere else? Forgot he was on the field at times. I think they should just cut him. Post-June cut, you save he's a big cap casualty. $14 million. I don't want to keep him at 30 years old. There's no point. There's no point. If they keep him and they get some young guys around him, that's fine. But $14 million, if they restructure him, I think he's like $9 million. So they'll still save a good chunk of money. But $14 million for a 30-year-old safety right now, I'm like done with keeping on the guys that are old right now. I want this team young. After watching these playoffs and all these young assets these guys have on defense, dude, like I don't see one older type player on these defenses that play. You know, it's just I like seeing the youth movement, and I think the Eagles should be continuing that. You know, he's a big cap casualty though. Ron said, I don't want to extend Dak, but I think we have no choice. We first got to extend Micah and CD. And you got to extend what's his face, the guard, your starting guard too. I mean, he's getting old as well. What's his name? I just had a brain fart. What the fuck's his name? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of contracts they got to sign. Zach Martin, yeah. Zach Martin's a free agent too, I think. Or he's going to. I think Zach Martin's. I think he's going to his last year of his contract. I think. I looked at the. This was like a few weeks ago. I was looking at the Cowboys. I was looking at their stuff on Over the Cap. I think Zach Martin's last year is this year too. It's a lot. That's a lot of players. City Family Super Chat, thank you so much, man. So do you think Howie gets a free agent linebacker and trades a linebacker second or third? And who you like? I think the Eagles sign one to. I think the Eagles sign a linebacker to big money. I think they sign one to big money, and I think they sign a prove it guy like Devin White, something like that. And I think they go into the draft and get somebody in the second round. We'll see who, but I think they should do all three, to be honest. See how it goes, but LeBron, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's unrestricted free agent show should look into trying to. I would love to get him back. The problem is, I don't know if the Lions have Chauncey in his future plans. You know, the Lions have to start locking some guys up for the future as well. Within another year, the Lions will have to start locking up contracts. So I don't know what. I think it was really the Eagle fans versus Chauncey, because Eagle fans were pissed and they were just like, when Chauncey signed a lesser deal with the Lions, even though it was kind of a fucked up backloaded deal that Howie had, it wasn't great. It wasn't a good deal at all. It was kind of actually pretty embarrassing. Would love him back. And we don't have a natural leader on defense. We have no leaders on defense. With Chauncey, you bring that swagger attitude. I just love it. I think he starts a lot when it comes to our secondary. Would love him. I would welcome him back. If he signed a big extension, he's not going to get a big extension because, look, at the end of the day, like, if the Eagles say, hey, we want to re-sign you back and, like, you know, we want you here long term, like, let's work on a 2-year deal, and then if you work out this 2-year deal, we'll sign you long term after that or something. You know, play here for a year. If you do well, you know, we'll sign you to a big extension or something. Because Chauncey, what you can get away with signing Chauncey is that he's not going to be expensive. He's been hurt. He was hurt with that injury all year. Forgot what it was. So, Jermaine said, I can't believe we are willing to trade our best defensive player, HaasonReddick. Dude, like, you have guys you have to pay too. Like, Dickerson's going to have to get paid soon. Devontae Smith's got to get paid soon. Like, if everybody's looking for a long term, if everybody's looking for a short term 1 year thing this year, I get it, but Reddick's turning 30 in fucking September, and you never know what you're gonna have with Vic Fangio and how this offseason is gonna go. Vic Fangio's not leaving any position empty. Okay, you're down 2 edge rushers. I agree, like, you're getting rid of your best guy, but you're getting rid of a guy, but you have nothing to compensate for him because Josh Sweat can only do so much. Brandon Graham is a free agent, and even if he comes back, what is he really going to do? And Nolan Smith didn't produce this year, so it's hard for me. Nolan Smith should have produced this year, but it's not on him. It's on the coaching staff, 100%. He didn't get enough playing time. You know what I mean? Like, so if they trade HaasonReddick, they're gonna sign another edge rusher to big money. Vic Fangio needs good edge rushers. He's always had. With Miami, he had good edge rushers. He needs good edge rushers. He doesn't have that right now. Josh Sweat is just so much, and you're down like 2 guys. So I get it. Thomas Joey, how would you feel if we picked up CD and Micah and you think it would work? Just No, I don't think they would ever touch them. I think Micah Parsons would go join Dan Quinn before he'd come to the Eagles. Harold Williams says CJ already said he wants to stay with the Lions. Well, dude, they all say that. He said he wanted to stay here before he left, before he went to the Super Bowl. Before he went into the Super Bowl, he told reporters during the Super Bowl interviews, he said, "Oh yeah, I definitely want to stay in Philadelphia." Of course, they all say that. They're not going to say that. Oh no, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. I'm not going to tell anybody that. Chris said, "Would you pull a Band-Aid off and get rid of BG?" I don't think it's really pulling a Band-Aid off. BG's a free agent. BG's not young. I mean, what do you bringing BG back is more of an emotional standpoint. Let's just give him another year for his hoorah out the league. Like, what is he going to do enough in Vic Fangio's scheme at his age? You know what I mean? You got to be realistic with it. Love Brandon Graham. Love him to death. Don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking long term, dude. And Brandon Graham is not in my plans for long term. As a depth piece, if you want to bring him in, fine. But anything else, I don't know. LeBron says, I was dying laughing when Chauncey Gardner was waving by the Niners fans for half when they were up, and look what happened. Yeah, that was embarrassing. He did that in the second quarter. They were up like 20-7. I think they were up like 21-7, something like that, or 20-7. John said, I think if we got rid of BG, he'd just retire. He already said he doesn't want to play anywhere else. Yeah, I get it. Jermaine says, what happens with Fletcher Cox? We let him go. I think they want to bring him back. I think it's up to Fletch if he wants to come back or not. There's been like some stupid rumors about him going to Pittsburgh or something. I don't know why, but he might have to take a cheaper deal. He's not getting paid $13 million for 1 year. Fletcher Cox isn't the same Fletcher Cox, but I got to say, like, in a rotation, he played really well. And he's one of, like, the pure guys that, like, leads by example with just his physicality. And, even in that playoff game when he got a tackle in the backfield, he just brought attitude to the defense. I think he's a nice added piece to have here. And he plays pissed off. And I've always liked. I got Fletcher's jersey. I still have Fletcher Cox's jersey after he signed that big extension years ago. I get it. Oh, Myers says, "Hey Joey, is it safe to assume that Carter and Milton will play right end, left end, and have Jordan Davis at nose tackle, assuming we are switching?" Yes, that's pretty much what's going to happen. Yeah, pretty much. So I still think the thing is with the 3-4, dude, I don't know if these guys are athletic enough. Like, is Josh Sweat athletic enough to play as an outside linebacker? That's what I'm saying. That's why the mock trades come out like to trade Josh Sweat, because I don't know if he fits Vic Fangio's scheme. Reddick, you would trust a little bit more because he's done it in his past with Carolina. He's done it in his past with the Cardinals. So I would think that maybe they would trust him a lot more with it, and Fangio will actually make him successful, not set him up in a bad fucking way with the rest of this team. It's all moving pieces at the end of the day. You put your guys in coverage, but you have to have some moving pieces. You still have to get pressure. It's got to look good at the end of the day. So, Nolan Smith, I think, would be perfect for this scheme, but we didn't get anything from him last year because fucking Sean Desai's an asshole. So, but we'll see. But let's see. We've been over an hour and 27 minutes in the stream. 243 in the chat today. If you guys haven't liked the video, please like the video. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. And definitely like up the stream if you guys have it. I do appreciate it so much. So schedule wise for pretty much the rest of this month and what's going on continued month so far, is we're going to have a stream on Friday. We'll have videos every day as usual, but Friday we'll have a stream. Saturday shakedowns as usual every week. Starting March 1st, we're going to be having streams. The road to free agency streams every late morning, every single day. And if any big moves happen, we'll do a double stream. So if I stream in the morning and a big signing happens afterwards, a video is made on it, I'll do another stream that night. So we're going to do a lot of stream every day. We're going to have streams in March, every single day of the week, leading to free agency. Maybe a week after free agency, we'll do more streams until it starts to die down a little bit. And obviously by that time, we'll be getting to a lot of draft stuff too, but I'm setting all that stuff up for some of the membership videos now. But every day in March, streams every day. Until then, we're gonna be doing a lot more stuff here, more videos every day and all that stuff. We'll have a video tomorrow. I might have 2 videos out tomorrow, depending on if I want to put it out, another video out middle afternoon, just depending. So we'll see what happens. But 227, appreciate everybody coming into the chat. If you guys haven't subscribe, like the stream, and I'll see you guys on the next. I'm sorry I want to cut it. I know I don't want to cut it off, but it's already 12:30, and we have a big storm coming tomorrow. If you live on the East Coast, there's a big snowstorm coming, so I have to get prepared for that tomorrow, and I have to start saving some people tomorrow. So but other than that, we'll be ready to go. But you guys have a great night, and we'll see you on the next one. See you on Friday. But we'll have videos every day. Guys, have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Chicks, what false light. Peace out, guys. Peace out.